Welcome back to Bendy Stretchy Pilates. Today we're going to take a look at the side clam exercise. So if you happen to have any sort of tightness or pain down the side of the hip, you might find this more comfortable just to lay a small soft blanket underneath the side of the hip. So we're going to take a yoga block and we're going to lengthen out on the floor, placing the block between the arm and the head, just so that the head is nicely supported. We're going to start by getting our body in the right alignment. So we're going to lengthen out the body parallel to the floor, and we want the feet flexed, and we want the feet, ankles, knees and hips and shoulders all in a parallel straight line. So we're going to place our fingertips on the floor, and we're now going to bring our knees up into a 45-degree angle, making sure that our ankles are in line with our bottom. So again, now we're in this position, we want to find our nice centered core. So this is not a relaxed pose, so we should not be slouching into the floor. We want to draw the abdominals in towards the spine, lifting up through the lower waist. So you've got a small gap between your waist and the floor. We want to relax through the shoulders, relax through the legs, making sure that the heels and the feet stay glued together. Now we're going to inhale, and on the exhale we're going to open the top leg, keeping the feet glued together. And then we're going to exhale and lower. As we lift the top leg, we're going to squeeze the glute muscles in the bottom and then exhale. So inhaling, squeeze those glute muscles and lower. Now you should be feeling this in the glute muscles in the bottom. So really activate those glute muscles and squeeze and lower. Now we want to make sure that the hips are stacked, one on top of the other. And we want to be careful that the top hip does not roll backwards. So we only want to open the top leg to the point where the hips stay level. As soon as we lose control and the hips roll back, we've gone too far. So we want to roll the top hip forward to make sure we keep those hips nicely stacked and in position. So after a few of these, and you should be aiming between 8 to 10, 2 to 3 reps on each side, you should start to feel this in that bottom muscle. And then lower. Now we're going to move into big clam. So keeping our fingertips on the floor, we're going to extend the legs away. We're going to raise the lower leg to a 90-degree angle, and we're going to tuck the foot of the top leg so it's resting behind the calf or behind the back of the knee on the lower leg. And again, we're going to inhale, lower that top leg, exhale and open up the hip. Again, keeping those hip bones nicely stacked one on top of the other. Inhaling as we lift, squeezing those glute muscles and then lowering with control. Inhaling on the lift, exhale as we lower. And you should really be feeling these in the back of those glute muscles now. So just work within your range, making sure those hips are staying nicely stacked. And then lowering the leg to the floor. Just take the knee on the floor and just gently tap the bottom just to loosen up the glute muscle that you've just worked. And then we're going to swap over onto the other side. So again, lengthening out along the mat, placing the block between the head and the lower arm. Check in with your posture along the base of the mat so your ankles, knees, hips and shoulders are all in a straight line. Placing your fingertips on the floor, just bring your knees up into that 90-degree angle, checking in that your ankles are lined up with your bottom. Keeping your fingertips on the floor, we're going to find our nice centered posture. So drawing in the belly button in towards the spine, lifting up from the waist so that we're nicely engaged. We're going to inhale, lifting the top leg, keeping the feet glued together, squeezing those glute muscles, and then slowly exhaling and lowering with control. Inhaling as we lift, squeezing the glute, exhaling with control. So again, you want to aim for 8 on this side, 2 to 3 reps if you can. When you've done enough, we're going to stop here and we're going to move into big clam. So we're going to lengthen out the legs, drawing up the bottom leg into that 90-degree angle and just tucking the toes behind the ankle or the knee. Then we're going to inhale, open up the top leg and lower with the bottom. Again, we want to make sure those hip bones stay stacked and we want to prevent this hip from rolling backwards. Inhale, squeeze those glutes, exhale and lower. When you've had enough, just lower the knee to the floor, extend that leg away and just gently tap the bottom. Thank you for watching.